Imagine this. You reach into your pocket, pull out a handful of pennies, and right there, lying quietly between them, is the one coin that could change your entire life. Sounds impossible, right? But wait, what if I told you that a simple 2013 Lincoln penny, a coin that most people spend without a second thought, could be worth as much as $430,000 in today's market? Now hold on, before you rush to check your piggy bank, let's uncover why this 1-cent coin from 2013 has the potential to make ordinary people, maybe even you, the next coin millionaire. Because what if the fortune you've been chasing all your life has been sitting in your change jar this entire time? Stay with me. You might never look at a penny the same way again. The journey. The hidden story of the 2013 Lincoln penny. The story of the 2013 Lincoln penny starts like every other coin in circulation. Mass-produced, shiny, common. Over 3 billion were minted that year. To most people, that sounds like no chance of being rare. But here's where things get interesting. Among those billions, a few coins were struck with errors. Tiny mistakes invisible to the untrained eye. Some have double die obverse, where Lincoln's features or lettering appear slightly doubled. Others have unusual color variations or missing details caused by worn-out dies. And then, there are those mystery strikes, the coins made with experimental or transitional materials, the ones that slipped through the mint's strict controls. Now you might think, come on, who would pay $430,000 for a penny? But collectors aren't paying for the copper. They're paying for history, rarity, and perfection. One lucky owner recently sold a 2013 penny with a minting anomaly for an eye-popping $430,000 at auction. Why? Because it wasn't just a coin. It was a mistake that became a masterpiece. Think of it like a misprinted stamp or a rare comic book cover. Those imperfections turn everyday objects into priceless treasures. And here's the shocking part. Most of these valuable pennies are still in circulation. They're out there, sitting in drawers, stuck in parking meters, forgotten in coffee cans across America. Maybe in your home. Maybe even in your wallet right now. Wait a second. You're probably thinking, so I'm supposed to dig through all my coins hoping to find a golden ticket? Yes, exactly that. But hey, at least this treasure hunt doesn't involve running from pirates or decoding ancient maps. Just grab your loose change and a magnifying glass. Now let's get real for a second. Every day, people across the United States are discovering valuable coins they never knew they had. Retirees, teenagers, even kids trading lunch money have stumbled upon coins worth thousands. And the question is, why not you? If you're living in the US and have old coins lying around, don't dismiss them. Especially your 2013 Lincoln pennies. Check the mint mark, look for D or P, and inspect every detail. Tiny imperfections could mean a huge payday. Think about this. A 1-cent coin turning into a 6-figure fortune. That's not luck, that's awareness. That's the reward of paying attention when everyone else looks away. And here's the kicker. These opportunities don't last forever. The more collectors find these rare pieces, the fewer are left in the wild. The value could skyrocket or vanish, depending on what's discovered next. So ask yourself, are you going to ignore that penny you just dropped on the floor? Or pick it up and see if it's your $430,000 moment? Because maybe, just maybe, that small copper coin is your ticket to financial freedom. Have you ever walked past a penny on the sidewalk, thinking it's just another worthless coin? What if that tiny piece of copper could be the key to your next big dream? Your house, your car, your financial freedom. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, hold on, because a simple 1991 Lincoln penny, yes, that 1-cent coin you might have tossed into a jar years ago, could now be worth up to $440,000 now. Before you laugh and say, who would pay that for a penny? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how one of the most ordinary-looking pennies in America turned into a millionaire maker. And who knows? You might already have one sitting quietly in your pocket. Let's dive deep, but fair warning. Once you learn what makes this coin valuable, you'll never look at your change the same way again. The story and the emotion, it all began in 1991, a year most people don't even consider remarkable for coins. The US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln pennies, ordinary copper-plated zinc coins that circulated in every hand across America. But here's the twist, among those billions, a few coins came out different. Not intentionally, not visibly at first glance, but different in a way that changed everything. Some had minting errors, double dies, missing letters, off-center strikes, that collectors today are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for. Others came from rare proof sets or unique, minting batches where tiny mistakes became massive treasures. Imagine this: you're holding a 1991 penny and you notice something odd. Maybe the letters look slightly doubled or the edges feel off. You shrug, put it away in a drawer, and forget it. But years later, that same coin, now authenticated by experts, sells for $440,000 at auction. Think about that. A single penny, lost in your house for decades, turns into almost $500,000. It's enough to make anyone double-check their coin jar tonight. Now here's where the story gets emotional, because every single person who's found one of these rare pennies had one thing in common. They looked closer when others didn't. They didn't say, "It's just a penny." They said, "What if?" That tiny bit of curiosity turned their spare change into a life-changing fortune. So ask yourself, are you ready to check your change drawer tonight? ACT 3. The urgency and call to action. Here's the truth. Time is ticking. Every day, collectors and dealers are hunting for these rare 1991 Lincoln pennies, and every day, another hidden treasure disappears into someone else's hands. You might be sitting on one right now. That don't let fear or doubt make you miss out. Don't say, "I'll check later," because later could mean never. If your penny has these signs, an unusual strike, a double date, or any unique marking, it could be your golden ticket to go grab your jar of change, your wallet, that old coffee can in the kitchen. Hold every 1991 penny up to the light. Inspect it, because that small round coin could be the most powerful reminder that fortune often hides in the smallest places. And here's something funny. How many times have we all said, "It's just a penny"? Well, I bet those same words were said by people who unknowingly let $440,000 slip through their fingers. Don't be one of them. You don't need luck. You need awareness. You need curiosity. And you need to start now. So before you scroll away, remember, the difference between a 1-cent coin and a $440,000 coin is only in the eyes of the one who looks closer. Check your coins, share this video so others don't miss out, and maybe, just maybe, your next penny will be the one that changes everything, because sometimes in the world of coins, the smallest things make the biggest difference. What if I told you that the penny sitting quietly in your drawer could make you richer than your wildest dreams? Sounds impossible, right? But stay with me, because the 1979 Lincoln penny, a coin most Americans have probably ignored for decades, could secretly be worth up to $340,000 today. Now, before you rush to check under your couch cushions, let me ask, how many times have you spent a penny without thinking twice? Maybe you tossed it in a tip jar or left it at the gas station counter. Imagine if that tiny coin was your lottery ticket and you just gave it away. Scary thought, isn't it? This story isn't about luck. It's about awareness. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how a simple 1-cent coin from 1979 could turn into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that changes everything. Let's rewind to 1979. The US was buzzing. Disco lights, muscle cars, inflation rising, and millions of pennies being minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of them, ordinary copper coins, but hidden among them were a few mistakes, rare minting errors that would one day shock collectors and shake the coin market. Some pennies were struck on rare planchets, metal blanks meant for other coins. Others had double die errors, where Lincoln's image or the date appeared slightly doubled, giving the coin a ghostly, mesmerizing look. Now here's where it gets exciting. One of these rare 1979 pennies, graded in pristine condition with perfect luster and strike, sold for nearly $340,000 in a private auction. That's right. 1 cent became a small fortune. You might be wondering, but how do I know if I have one? That's the million-dollar question, and the reason you should never underestimate what's hiding in your change jar. Quick pattern break. Think about it. You probably spent more time looking for your lost TV remote than you've ever spent examining your pennies. But after watching this video, I promise you'll never look at change the same way again. Here's what makes these coins valuable: condition, rarity, and error type. If your 1979 penny has no mint mark, check its surface under light. Look for double lines in Liberty or the date. If it has a D, Denver Mint. Examine Lincoln's bust and lettering. Small variations could mean a big payday. And if it carries an S, San Francisco Mint, you might just be holding one of the rare proof strikes that collectors are chasing like gold. Remember, this value in the coin world isn't about age alone, it's about imperfection turned perfection. The tiniest flaw, minted by accident, can transform an ordinary coin into a treasure worth hundreds of thousands. Now, here's the real twist. Many of these rare coins are still in circulation today. That means you watching this, might already own one and not even realize it. Imagine the thrill of walking into a coin shop with your old penny and hearing the appraiser say, "Sir, this isn't just a penny. This is a $340,000 collector's piece." Your heart races, your hands shake, and suddenly you're part of coin collecting history. But here's the catch: time is running out. Every day, these coins are being found, bought, and locked away by collectors forever. If you want a shot at your own fortune, start looking now. Before we wrap up, humor me for a second. Go ahead, grab a handful of your old pennies after this video. If anyone asks what you're doing, just tell them you're treasure hunting in plain sight. Because next time, we're diving even deeper into another coin that's quietly turning everyday Americans into overnight millionaires. And trust me, you won't believe which year it is, so check your pockets, your jars, your drawers. Your future wealth could be hiding behind Lincoln's quiet copper smile. And if you're serious about learning which pennies could make you rich, don't just watch, subscribe now, because the next rare coin story might just be your story. Have you ever tossed a penny into a jar, thinking it was just a single cent, worthless, ordinary, forgettable? What if I told you that one of those pennies could actually make you over $330,000? Yes, a single 1977 Lincoln penny, the same one sitting in your change drawer or hiding under your couch, could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. Now, before you rush off to check your pockets, hold on, because the story of this coin isn't just about metal and money. It's a story of history, luck, and missed chances, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, what makes it so rare, and why this 1-cent coin is shaking up the coin market across America. So, grab your coins, stay sharp, and let's uncover how one small penny could rewrite your financial destiny. The journey of the 1977 penny. The year was 1977. America was recovering from economic struggles, gas prices were rising, and people were just trying to make ends meet. In the middle of it all, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and Denver produced millions of 1-cent Lincoln pennies, ordinary coins for ordinary people, or so it seemed. But hidden among those millions were a few rare errors, minting mistakes so subtle that only the sharpest eyes could spot them. These rare 1977 pennies featured double dies, weak strikes, off-center imprints, and even copper composition anomalies that set them apart. Now, here's the twist. Collectors across the United States began noticing these peculiar coins. At first, they were dismissed as curiosities. But when the first verified 1977 Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $330,000, the numismatic world lit up like a lightning bolt. Can you imagine that? A penny, worth less than a gumball, suddenly worth more than a luxury car. And here's where it gets even crazier. Many of these coins are still in circulation today. They could be in your wallet. They could be in that jar of change you've ignored for years. They could even be the coin your kid just used to buy a pack of gum.it. Makes you think, right? How many fortunes have been spent without anyone realizing? Let's be honest. How many of us have said, "It's just a penny, who cares?" Well, tell that to the guy who found one in his junk drawer and walked away richer than most lottery players. You might want to start caring about pennies now. Seriously, this is the only time you'll hear someone say that losing a penny might actually hurt your wallet. The revelation. How to find, value, and cash in. So how do you know if your 1977 penny is the golden ticket? Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. Coins from Denver, marked with a D, and Philadelphia, no mark, are both worth examining. Inspect the details. Look for double die errors, especially on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Check the weight. Some of these coins were struck on 95% copper planchets, and that difference in weight could mean the difference between 1 cent and $330,000. Now, here's the part that most people don't know. Coin values aren't just about rarity, they're about timing. Market demand, collector interest, and even online trends can cause these values to skyrocket overnight. Right now, experts estimate that fewer than 100 verified 1977 rare Lincoln pennies exist in top condition. That means if you're holding one, you're part of a club more exclusive than most millionaire circles. Think about it. That small coin you almost gave away might be your hidden treasure. Every day, thousands of old coins are spent without a second thought, and each one could hold the key to a small fortune, so don't wait. Don't assume it's just a penny. Go through your change, your piggy bank, your old jars, because the next time you say it's only 1 cent, it might actually be $330,000 waiting for you to notice. And if you're someone living in the US with old coins tucked away in drawers, boxes, or collections passed down through generations, this is your moment. Don't let history and fortune slip through your fingers. Because the 1977 penny is only the beginning. There are more hidden treasures, coins worth millions, still floating through everyday circulation. Imagine this. You're sipping your morning coffee, maybe checking your wallet, and there it is, a dull, ordinary brown penny. You flip it over, shrug, and drop it into a jar. But what if I told you that same penny could secretly be worth $390,000? Yes, a single 1959 Lincoln penny, something you might have walked past thousands of times, could make you rich overnight. Crazy? Maybe. But here's the truth. The 1959 Lincoln penny hides one of the greatest mysteries in American coin history. Let's rewind for a moment. It was 1959. Eisenhower was president, Alaska and Hawaii had just become states, and the U.S. Mint had decided to retire the famous wheat ears reverse design of the Lincoln cent, replacing it with the brand new Lincoln Memorial Reverse. This was the birth of a new era in pennies, and, unintentionally, a multi-$100,000 mystery that would shock the coin world decades later. But what made the 1959 so special? Why do collectors go wild for it? And how did one penny, just 1 cent, end up being worth more than some luxury cars? Stick with me, because as we unfold the story, you'll see exactly why your pocket change might just be your hidden lottery ticket. The confrontation, the mystery, and the madness. Now here's where it gets wild. In 1986, a man named L.H. Nodeler submitted a 1959 penny to a coin grading service. At first glance, it looked like any other penny. But under magnification, experts nearly fell off their chairs. It had the wheat ears reverse design, which officially ended in 1958. Wait, how is that possible? 1959 was supposed to be the first year of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, not the wheat ears. There were no official records, no authorized dies, no explanations. It was as if a ghost coin had appeared from another timeline. Theories started flying. Some said it was an experimental piece accidentally struck at the Denver Mint before the design change. Others claimed it was a mint worker's secret after-hours project. And a few believed, brace yourself, that it might even be counterfeit. Now, before you laugh that off, imagine this. A single minting error, a single accident, could transform an ordinary penny into a $390,000 treasure. And here's the kicker. Most people would never know it. You might even have one right now sitting in a coffee jar, a drawer, or that random pile of change by your nightstand. Here's a funny thought. How many times have we said, it's just a penny? Well, that just a penny could be the price of a house. So next time you see that 1959 maybe give it a second look before you tip the barista. So what should you actually do if you find a 1959 penny? First, don't clean it. Don't touch it too much, don't polish it. Just handle it carefully by the edges. Then, get it checked by a professional coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. Now, here's where things get even more exciting. Not all 1959 pennies are worth 6 figures, but some are still valuable, especially those with strong mint luster, double die errors, or striking defects. Even in average circulated condition, some rare varieties can reach hundreds or thousands of dollars. But remember, there's fear here, too. Every day, old pennies are spent, lost, or melted away forever. Every day, another small fortune might vanish unnoticed. That's why collectors and historians across the United States are hunting for coins like these, turning dusty jars and forgotten drawers into treasure chests. So the question is, what's sitting in yours? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's a 1959 worth $390,000. You'll never know unless you look. And before you scroll away, ask yourself this: what if your next penny could rewrite your story? Because somewhere out there, an ordinary American coin turned an ordinary person into a millionaire. And the next one could be you. So check your change. Search your collections. Tell your kids, your parents, your friends, because the most valuable treasures aren't always gold or diamonds. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, in the smallest coin you never thought twice about. The 1959 Lincoln penny proved that even a single cent can change your life. Will you be the next to find one?